Martin Luther with a dream, the John Lennon of the streets. I'm MJ with the M1, I feel like Malcolm with the M1. I'm at the window when you haters, don't make me jump out the window when you haters. Locked and loaded, I feel like I'm loaded, let's beloved. Roll with the punches, yeah, I'm gonna play the hand that I was dealt. Number one focus is to remain focused, can't worry about shit I can't change, I go well. Hold up, I know what it's like to fail. Hold up, I already been through hell. Yeah, I was built for all this shit that I've been through, I'm going through and what I will.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, misery bots of all ages. Back again with another video. This time we are breaking down the Mortal Kombat 1 official gameplay debut trailer. We're going to be breaking this down. I've watched it a few times. We're going to go over some of the story beats that it's hitting for. We're also going to go over a lot of the gameplay that it's hitting for and stuff like that. In terms of graphics, I mean, there's not too many fighting games that are going to out-graphics Mortal Kombat. Simple as that. Mortal Kombat tends to have the best graphics in fighting games. Graphics that rivals most video games, period. So in terms of the graphics, the game looks beautiful. Beautiful, looks clean, looks visually stunning. Just, that's how it is. In terms of the gameplay, we'll get into my thoughts on the gameplay a little bit later or whatever. We're going to get into my thoughts of some of the character changes and story beats that they got going on a little bit later. But for now, let's get into the video. Now, if you haven't checked out the video, I will leave a link in the description below, so definitely check that out. But for right now, we're going to have to go ahead and slow this down. We're going to do it to like 0.5 or whatever. And then we're going to, maybe lower the volume a bit. Lower the volume a bit. And then let it play. Let it play so that we can go by bit. Now, I was definitely wrong in the fact that I originally thought that this take place in a feudal era. This is just Liu Kang's new era, basically. Basically, Liu Kang and Ed Boon says it too, because after they showed gameplay, Ed Boon got on stage and he talked about what was going on in this, because it's, when you're looking at it, it's like, what the heck is happening here? Ed Boon basically talked about this is Liu Kang's new era. He basically created a universe, basically. And in this universe, there's things that look more feudal, but there are things that are definitely modern in this game. And you'll see when we get into the fighting. Well, into the gameplay, at least. So, the new logo looks dope. The new dragon logo looks fire as well. This intro was pretty cool. I like the way they started this off. So you have Sub-Zero. He's attacking what looks like Raiden and Kung Lao. Yeah, that looks like... This one looks like Kung Lao. I'm assuming this is Raiden. Got Scorpion coming in. So Scorpion off the rip. You already got Scorpion and Sub-Zero teaming up together. Now, Shirai Ryu is an off branch of the Lin Kuei. So basically what happened was there was a Lin Kuei member who left the Lin Kuei, branched off, and started his own clan called the Shirai Ryu. In this, it looks like that never happens. It looks like it's just the Lin Kuei. And Sub-Zero and Scorpion are definitely running together. They're definitely fighting with each other. So you have a bunch of things that's happening here, and it's kind of weird. So you have Sub-Zero, who looks like he attacks Raiden. Looks like that's Raiden that he's attacking. Now you have Scorpion, who looks like he's fighting Kung Lao. You can tell by the little red satchel and the hat, of course. Gets the shit kicks out of him. Then you have Kung Lao throw his hat. Obviously, this is one of the reasons I thought it was more of a feudal era Japan kind of situation, because the hat doesn't have a blade in it. And you're going to see that in a moment now, because he throws the hat at Sub-Zero, and it just bops Sub-Zero in the back of the head. And it does nothing, because it doesn't have any blades or anything in there. And that's what kind of threw me off when I first seen the original trailer, and it didn't have the blades on the end. But it bops him in the head. Now, I'm noticing that this Sub-Zero does not have a scar on his eye, which leads me to believe that this may be Bihan Sub-Zero, which is cool as hell to see Scorpion and Bihan Sub-Zero actually team up. Because for those who don't know, these are the people that killed each other. Sub-Zero killed Scorpion. Scorpion came back, killed Bihan. You feel me? So that's crazy. And they both have the same exact outfit, which this one has the Lin Kuei emblem. I couldn't really see Scorpion's emblem. If Scorpion's joint have a different insignia on it, then it may be, you know, the Shirai Ryu and just the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu teaming up for this specific event. But basically, he then grabs this blade, which lets me know that that's probably becomes the inspiration of putting the blade on his hat. Because later on, you're gonna in this particular area, you don't see him fighting with his hat on. But later on, I believe you do see him with his hat that has the blade on it. So he takes that blade, he throws it. I guess that kind of gives him the idea. Now you have Raiden here, whose hand is frozen to the table. And this dude right here is just chilling. He's just chilling, just drinking whatever he's drinking. You feel me? Yeah, that dude right there is just chilling, drinking whatever he's drinking right now. Scorpion don't know what the hell happened to Scorpion. My guess is, you know, Sub-Zero and Raiden got into it. Sub-Zero obviously got the upper hand. Then Kung Lao and Scorpion were fighting, and Kung Lao got the upper hand. Now these two are catching smoke with each other. Now, one thing about Kung Lao is he definitely has his fighting style that is really similar and reminiscent to Mortal Kombat 11. And I'm glad that they're keeping that type of fighting style. Because for those who don't know, a lot of the times when you get to a new Mortal Kombat iteration, the characters tend to fight completely different. But at least 3 iterations of Kung Lao now, MKX and MK11, and even in this MK1, it seems like Kung Lao has that more of that Ip Man kind of fighting style, which I do appreciate. I do like that that's the route that they're going with Kung Lao, and I think that actually fits Kung Lao pretty well. So you have Sub-Zero and Kung Lao fighting right now, and I know I'm going through this thing really slowly, but give me a minute here, man. I'm breaking it down bit by bit for you guys, man. Like and subscribe, by the way. Like and subscribe. Any questions in regards to that intro song? The link is in the descriptions below. All right. But every time Sub-Zero attacks, his hand kind of freezes up. It's kind of reminiscent to some of his iterations, like his Mortal Kombat, I want to say his Deception iteration, where his hands are like frozen or whatever. Do you also have the variation? I think it's the Icebreaker variation from Mortal Kombat X and stuff like that. And even, I believe even in his Injustice iteration, Injustice 2 iteration, his hands is frozen. So they definitely like to have Sub-Zero hands frozen. So he did the neutral duck on the grab. He neutral ducked the grab. That is a staple of Mortal Kombat. You can basically do that in almost every Mortal Kombat game, at least in almost every NetherRealm Mortal Kombat game. So you have Kung Lao, you know, pressing the attack. This is the punish. Now this looks like an enhanced move. Because he lights up, it looks like an enhanced move. It's crazy because it actually looks like Liu Kang's flying kick, but it goes in a more of an upward trajectory. But it's definitely a launcher. But it looks like he has to enhance it in order for that to happen. As you notice, there's a little light there. Now, the cool thing, and this is the crazy thing about the gameplay for this particular game, is that it has more of air juggles and stuff like that, similar to what you would see in fighting games like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Marvel vs. Capcom, so on and so forth. I believe they've also had stuff like this in some other Mortal Kombat games too, like MKX had a lot of air juggles and stuff like that, where you would juggle characters in the air and stuff like that. I believe the gameplay, in my opinion, feels more like a mesh between MKX and MK9. It's not nowhere. Is the gameplay is definitely very far from MK11. I will say that, but it more of a match between MK9 and MKX, in my opinion, with more of an air juggle, focus on air juggles, similar to what you would see in like a Dragon Ball FighterZ situation. So he does a dive kick to beat the dude to the floor. That is actually something that you see very common in MK11, actually. Believe it or not. You got the ice, the hammer. That looks like a meterless launcher. Here we go again with the air combos. Again, that's something that you've seen a lot in MKX. I know a lot of people was disappointed that you didn't really have those air juggles like that in MK11. Because in MKX, you used to have people that would like neutral jump, hit you, then jump, hit you again, jump, hit you again, and then just, you know, keep that combo going the way they do. What's up, Nuketown? So now this is Liu Kang, for those who don't know, trying to disguise himself, which is a shit disguise. Now, he's recruiting people. It looks like in this situation, he's actually recruiting Raiden and Kung Lao, which is interesting because it just shows off rip. He's actually working with the Lin Kuei. He's working with both Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They seem to be kind of like his enforcers in trying to test the strength of both Kung Lao and Raiden in this situation. Because he says that you got to use a new recruit.
The champion.
New champions. He basically calls them new champions. And again, you see Scorpion and Sub-Zero both standing behind him. Now, it looks like they actually both have the same medallion, the same emblem on. So it's possible that they're both Lin Kuei in this. They're original Shiryu. But here, it looks like they are recruiting Raiden and Kung Lao. Now, this was actually really cool and interesting because we see a new character that we didn't know that was in the game. And not a new character, but Kenshi. Oh, you're lost? This is the Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay. The Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay. After I'm done breaking it down, I'll let the whole trailer play so that you will be able to see it for yourself, Nuketown. If not, you can always check out the description below. I'm going to have a link there. But that is actually Kenshi. For those who don't know, that's Kenshi. His story is a little bit changed because obviously Kenshi can see. Obviously, Kenshi has his eyes. He can see. He's still a swordsman. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's blind. It looks like he can actually see. He looks like he's part of some sort of Yakuza as well, too. Now, this is the thing that Ed Boon also pointed out, too, is everybody's storyline is completely changed. Hence the reason you do see Mortal Raiden. You do see Kung Lao. It looks like in this timeline, Raiden and Kung Lao are the ones that are actually friends, as opposed to Kung Lao and Liu Kang that are besties or whatever. You also have Scorpion and Sub-Zero teaming up or whatever, where they were more of a rivals and stuff like that. They don't seem to really hate each other. And now you have Kenshi, who looks more like a Yakuza member with these tattoos on all over his hands and body and stuff like that. It looks like he can now see. Doesn't seem like he's blind or anything like that. He doesn't have his blindfold on. He's still a swordsman, but he's still searching for his sword, Samban, or something like that. I forget the name of his sword. But that's what he's actually here for. It seems like Johnny Cage has his sword. The sword that he has that belongs to Kenshi's ancestors or whatnot. Now here you can see like the dragon medallion here. You can see some of Johnny Cage's awards for his acting or whatnot. As you can see, this is clearly more of a modern setting. This is clearly more of a modern setting, which defutes my idea that this was taking place more in a feudal Japan situation, where it's clearly not. This is definitely a modern setting right here. You can see more awards and stuff like that. You can see a little short sword and things like that. Cocktails and, you know, Johnny Cage living it up. Living it up. Now, these other emblems, I can't really tell what it is. I can clearly see that this one right here is the dragon medallion, but I can't really tell what these other medallions are. I don't know if any of them may be like Shinnok's amulet or anything like that, but he's clearly here for his ancestral sword. That's what Kenshi's here for. And for those who didn't know, this is Johnny Cage. From what it sounds like, it does sound like this is Johnny Cage's voice, the same Johnny Cage voice actor from Mortal Kombat 11. As you can see, has a nice little mansion. Nice view. This is the gameplay. Gameplay looks pretty sick. I will admit, gameplay does look pretty sick. In terms of the graphics and visuals, looks phenomenal. You clearly have like the backdrop of the city. You have the pool that seems to be reacting to the fight with the ripples in the water and stuff like that. It just looks clean. It looks clean. Kenshi seems to have his fighting style from MKX, the annoying fighting style from MKX. For those who don't know, and I believe he also had this in MK9 as well too. I didn't really play Kenshi much in MK9, but MKX, he had a variation where it was kind of like a zoning variation, which was annoying as hell, where he would send these like demons or spirits or whatever at you to do all the combos and stuff, and it was frustrating to even get in. It seems like that's his main fighting style in this particular game, which is the soul of his ancestor, which is he blind? I believe his ancestor is blind. Now here we see the tag assist system coming in for the first time, where he calls in Sub-Zero to help him out. Now, it looks like he calls Sub-Zero in to help him with what it looks like a fatal blow. So it looks like they are gonna be team fatal blows in this game, where whoever is your cameo partner, they're gonna participate in the fatal blow, because that's what happens here with Sub-Zero. Kenshi hits Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero's charging up whatever he's charging up, and then they go ham. Goes right into the cinematics. Sub-Zero cracks his skull. And then Kenshi comes at him, slices him, and dices him, shatters his ribs and spine and everything. Look at the blood. Oh my God. Look at the blood. Jesus Christ. And then there's a big flash of light and everything kind of transitions back into gameplay. You see Johnny Cage still on fire and stuff like that, laid out on the floor. Kenshi's putting his sword back in. You have this little nice... Is that Cavassier? Let me find out your boy Johnny drinking some Hennessy in the background, man. Let's get it. I knew I fucks with Johnny for a reason, man. Then you got Johnny actually pressing the offense for the first time this whole fight. Gets him a little grab, a little uppercut. Side switches him. Little combo right there with the nut punch. Interesting enough, the nut punch did not launch, at least in that specific situation. Now, we do know in previous iterations of Mortal Kombat, you often had to enhance the nut punch in order for it to launch. So that may be the case. Maybe in this situation, Johnny Cage just did not enhance it. But yeah, interesting that he ends with the nut punch and there was no launch on that. This seems to be maybe a taunt, some sort of taunt. Don't know if this is related to the story or if this is just like a gameplay win screen or whatever. So in the middle of their fight, oh, it looks like Johnny Cage may have won. It looks like Johnny Cage may have won. So Johnny Cage looked badly injured. He's still bleeding or whatnot, but you do have Kenshi knocked out and tied up on the chair, and this is still in Johnny Cage's mansion. So it looks like Kenshi pulled up to Johnny and caught the hands. You feel me? It looked like he pulled up to Johnny's place and caught the hands. Now, not sure what was happening here with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It looks like they were about to run Johnny's fade. It looks like they were about to run Johnny's fade for real. Bro, Johnny is probably thanking Liu Kang God right now. Like, oh my God, thank God you showed up, because these dudes was about to run my cheeks, bro. Like, these dudes were dead ass about to jump Johnny Cage, bro. Like, and he ain't got his stunt doubles with him. I tell you right now, Johnny ain't got his stunt doubles with him. These dudes was about to run Johnny's fade, bro. Alright, Liu Kang showed up. You can tell Liu Kang is angry at these two right now. fucking Sub-Zero and Scorpion look mad, dog. Like, they were really about to beat. Johnny Cage must have said some smart shit. You know Johnny's slick with his tongue, bro. He's slick with his. He must have said some slick shit and pissed these two off. And these two were about to run this dude's fade. And Liu Kang showed up and looked at him like, "Yo, fam, we can't kill this man, bro. He's one of my champions. What are y'all doing? Y'all was about to body him, bro. Like, chill."
Okay, let's go back to...
Yeah, he humbled them real quick. He told them to sit down. Scorpion was like, "Aye, my son. Aye, my dude. Like, aye."
One here.
So Johnny tells him, which is kind of on the nose, tells him, let's rewind this back to 1. MK1, get it? So kind of play on words.
Who are you again?
So Johnny obviously don't know any of them.
Protector of Earthrealm.
Fire God Liu Kang. Sub-Zero's still mad.
Of...
Sub-Zero's still mad, bro. He's still want to run Johnny's fade. Now, I don't know if he's looking at Liu Kang like that. He might be looking at Liu Kang with the side eye right now. I don't know if he's looking at Liu Kang with the side eye or if he's looking at Johnny with the side eye. But I don't know. Sub-Zero hashtag bad guy? Let me find out.
Fire.
So Liu Kang lets him know he's the god of fire, then starts running his fade. You know he has to run Scorpion and Sub-Zero fade, bro. He's like, yo, I told y'all not to kill the champion. So now y'all gotta catch these hands. Instantly go start running Scorpion's fade. Got his teleport with him. Got Jax in the background. Now this is interesting. This is a cameo character. Jax using in his classic outfit, his MK2 outfit, I believe that is. Either MK2 or MK3 outfit. But he doesn't seem, because he's in his classic outfit, it doesn't seem like Jax is going to be a main character in this game. We don't know that just yet, because Ed Boon does mention that there are going to be some main characters. The main characters can be used as cameos as well, and he does say that, like, for example, you can have two Sub-Zeros, a Sub-Zero as you're fighting as, and a Sub-Zero as a cameo character. And he said the same thing with Scorpion as well. You can have like Scorpion as you're playing, and Scorpion as a cameo character as well. So you do have Jax. This could be a situation where Jax is both a main character and cameo. We don't know. We do know it takes place more in the modern time because Johnny Cage seems to be in it as what looks like a main character, a fightable and playable main character. So could be the same thing with both Jax and Sonya. We don't know. We do see them as cameos though. So definitely in the game for at least as cameos. Now this is interesting. What the hell was that? What was that? So you have Liu Kang do a combo. Then you have Jax come out, but then you have like a random big ass fireball come out. Now, granted, that fireball was like a reddish orange. He does do another one that's like a blue, which signifies the two colors that he has, that he often, you know, brings in as harmony to create his dragon. But look, did he summon that? Like, where did that come from? And then he does the flying kick. You got Jax just piecing out. Scorpion with his iconic spear. It's a meterless launcher. Doesn't look like he had to enhance that. Like a meterless juggle. Scorpion with the combos. Let's get it. He's like, yo, Fire God Liu Kang, man. I ain't no slouch. See, now that's a blue one. That one seems to have juggled him. That's dope. Shit, that's dope. Holy hell, that combo was clean. Was clean. So you look at it. Liu Kang gets up, hits him with the kicks. Now the blue, that actually looks like his, what is it, 4-3 from Mortal Kombat 11. That's what it looks like. Now he does do something. He does enhances it. Now I'm just noticing he enhances it. Now the fire comes out as the regular orange fire dragon or whatever. But when he enhances it, I believe that's what turns it to blue, and I believe that's what turns it into a launcher. So yes, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang does seem to be summoning that dragon. Now, I believe just the regular one is just a regular hit, probably just knocks down as a projectile or whatever. But when he enhances it, it counts as a juggle. So as you can see, orange fire turns blue after he enhances. After he enhances it, turns blue. Juggle Scorpion. Juggle Scorpion for what is next is a full combo. Which, if you notice to Liu Kang's feet, his feet changes colors. He has both the blue fire as well as that orange fire. And then he goes up. Orange fire, blue fire, and then he like ends it. I don't know if he enhances it or whatever, but he does like an upward flying kick with a dragon. Oh my god, that looks fucking dope, bro. That looks too clean. That looks too clean. I am actually pretty impressed about that. That would look clean. So here we are at the temple, the White Lotus Temple. You have Kenshi again, as you can tell. He has his sword with him, but he also has the tattoos or whatever. Now he's speaking to Raiden. This is Raiden. Raiden has his hat. He found his hat somewhere.
Whatever experience
Now you have Kenshi just talking shit to Raiden right now. Complete shit. Talking about how Raiden lacks experience, which means that Kenshi is probably a better fighter at this point. Raiden is very young. He may be very naive. He may be what young Liu Kang was, maybe, or maybe like what young Kung Lao was at one point, very brash and very talented or whatnot, but very brash and naive. But he says what I lack in experience, he makes for in like heart and stuff like that, which is definitely something that MK9 Kung Lao would have said.
I lack, I make up for in heart.
He makes up in heart. This was actually pretty cool. Two dual low sweeps, and enhanced. This is very reminiscent to his Mortal Kombat 11 Storm Cell. So you have Kenshi. You have Sonya Blade come through with her iconic, I forget the name of this move, but her iconic leg slam, which they took away from her in MK11, which was dumb. Didn't make any sense. It juggled. Whatever that was, it juggled. Now, this seemed to be a way for this character using Raiden to break away from that combo without maybe using Breaker. Now, I'm not sure if that was an actual Breaker, and that's how Breakers look, where your cameo character comes to break you out of it. But no, I don't think that's the case. I think he just called in his support character to break him out of that combo, because it looks like Raiden recovered a lot faster than Kenshi. Kenshi seems to be recovering still. Raiden seems to have already fully recovered. If that was a breaker, it would have reset both of them back to neutral. At least that's what I'm predicting. The teleport, let's get it. This is kind of interesting on how fast he was able to call out Kano again. He was able to use Kano to continue his combo. He also hit him with a meterless juggle. And look, he was able to call out Kano again before the combo ended. So he was able to actually call out Kano 3 times. Again, that first time, it's possible that it could have been a breaker. But these 2 times where he's calling Kano out in the middle of his combo, that's just him calling out Kano to continue his combo or act as a combo ender. We see the first fatality, which is Raiden. Raiden always has some of the best fatalities in the game, no cap. Summons lightning straight through the man's belly, then flies through his stomach. Now you have Melina. This is very, very interesting. This right here, not sure who this is, but it looks like it may be Shang Tsung. It may be Shang Tsung. Looks like Shang Tsung is doing experiments on Melina. We do find out in this trailer that Melina is actually the queen of Edenia, because she does mention that Katana wants to steal her throne. So that is an interesting twist in the sense that Melina is actually the queen of Edenia, and I guess Katana is just a princess. Now, the way Melina gets her teeth is a bit different. As you can see, she does not have the Baraka teeth here, but they are explaining it in a way where she seems to have some sort of disease or virus or something like that that's causing her Baraka teeth to grow in. She definitely is ashamed of it. As you can see, she's very beautiful here. It seems like this is some sort of random doctor. It could be Shang Tsung in disguise. Who knows? But as you can see, it's Melina. As you can see, her teeth starting to grow in. Her Baraka teeth starting to grow in. Now, Katana does mention here, if the people know about her disease, it could be bad or whatever like that. And Melina just kind of gets upset about it because she just thinks it's Katana trying to steal her throne.
I only want what's best for you. Or do you secretly covet my throne?
So now they catch the smoke. Katana looking clean. Have to admit, Katana's actually looking really good with the air juggles. Again, something very reminiscent to like Dragon Ball Fighters or like Marvel vs. Capcom. You have Goro, Prince Goro, working with the Queen of Edenia. Now, for those who don't know, that combo is very reminiscent to his MKX combos. He does have a move like that in MKX. I believe he also has a move like that in Armageddon too. You have the roll from Melina. You already seen the teleport. Melina looking brutal as hell. Sub-Zero slide. Tries on Raiden. You got Raiden looking more like his classic outfit. You have Kung Lao doing his spin. That looks weird. I don't know if it's just me, but Kung Lao's spin is weird. Kung Lao being the cameo character in this specific iteration right here. Causes the juggle in Sub-Zero, so you can definitely use your cameo characters to juggle or just continue combos, period. Goes in for an air juggle. Oh, that was an interesting fireball. Don't know if I noticed that, but that was an interesting looking fireball that Liu Kang threw out at Melina. The teleport. Then you have Striker pop out. Interesting thing is that kind of looks like Striker's fatal blow from MK1, if I'm not mistaken. You have Kung Lao with the dive kick. catches the punish like he should. Was able to break out of it. This is clearly a breaker. This is clearly a breaker. So it looks like the cameo characters definitely come out to save you in the middle of a combo. So if you're getting comboed, and you can use your cameo characters as a breaker, basically. This is basically a fatal blow. As you can see, your cameo characters help out with the fatal blows. This had to take some time because they had to. This basically means they had to customize a fatal blow for every cameo character. So this right here must have took a long time. And these fatal blows look absolutely brutal. Again, we see a fatal blow that ends in what looks like an explosion that then transitions back into the gameplay. Not like how it was in MK11. In MK11, they definitely had a situation where like the fatal blow would end and then the person would just kind of like be walking away or whatever. This is the second time we've seen like an explosion into what looks like back into gameplay. Here we go with our second fatality. This kind of disappointed with this fatality because it looks very reminiscent to some of his earlier fatalities. I could have sworn he had a fatality very similar to this in both MKX and MK11. Then you have Kano's classic heart rip. Now, what I'm noticing too is it doesn't seem like just the main characters have fatalities. It also seems like the cameo characters also have fatalities. So you can literally choose whether you want to do your fatality or you want to do the fatality of a cameo character, which is actually pretty cool because you have to remember there are characters in this game that are only cameo characters. So that means you can't play with them, but you can still use their fatality at the end. And this is Kano doing his classic heartbeat rip-off or whatever from his original debut, Mortal Kombat 1 debut. And I believe he didn't have this in MK2 because he wasn't in MK2, but he might have had this in MK3, I believe. Now, I don't know if Kano is a cameo character. That is the only thing that's boggling my mind right now. He could be a main character as well, but as of right now, this definitely is classic suit. Definitely looks more like a oh my god. The Scorpion be having some of the most brutal fatalities. I swear, this is just completely uncalled for. Johnny Cage smashes your face into the floor or whatever. I just noticed that this little placard that he smashed his face into says Kenshi. So it's kind of like has his name on it. I wonder if every person whose name, whose face he smashes into this has their name on it. I wonder if that's what it is. Now, kind of disappointing in this, they do kind of spruce it up with him doing the split into the face smash. But in MKX, I believe it was MKX, he had a fatality already similar to this where he would just mash your face into the pavement until like the skin comes off your face. And then he'll just mash it in to explode your head. This is very reminiscent on that, where he just peels your face off. This is the continuation to the previous fatality that we've seen, where he goes in between them, splits them, then smashes them. That's very reminiscent to, I believe, a fatality he has in, is it MKX or MK11? So kind of like recycling a lot of fatalities, but, you know, sprucing it up to look a little bit more modern. Yeah, it's MK1. Now, this is what I mean by cameos having fatality. So in this situation, it's clear that Scorpion is the main character here, that the person was using Scorpion to fight with. This is Raiden that he's fighting against. You can definitely see the medallion that Raiden often carries. But he calls in Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero comes sliding in, and then Sub-Zero comes sliding in and does his fatality, where he completely rips out your spine. His classic MK1 fatality. And then you have an iconic screenshot right here where you have both Sub-Zero and Scorpion kind of standing side by side next to each other. Scorpion with his Hellfire burning spear and then Sub-Zero with his ice power holding the head. This is just an iconic freaking screenshot right here. It's in our blood. Now, I wonder what they mean by that. Then you have the Shang Tsung pre-order trailer and stuff like that. So that's basically everything we know. I went through it, kind of broke it down bit by bit for you. In terms of story, not much story. We just know that Liu Kang's going around and he's recruiting people. We do know that Melina is the queen of Edenia, and she seems to have some sort of disease. Now, we don't know how she got the disease. Could be something hereditary. Could be something that maybe Shang Tsung did to her. We don't know. But it's definitely what seems to spark the hatred between both Melina and Katana. We do seem to have complete alterations to everybody's like background and story and stuff like that. And I am pretty interested. In terms of the actual gameplay, I would have preferred just a regular one-on-one, 1v1 situation. I personally would have preferred that. I mean, Mortal Kombat 9 had tag teams, and that was not a very popular game mode. Hence the reason they did not bring back tag teams in both MKX and MK11, because tag teams was not a very popular game mode. And let me replay that, and this time speed it up so you can just see it in the background. But MKX was not, I mean, tag team was not a very popular game mode in MK9 or whatever. So I am very curious to know why they made it what seems like a main gameplay mechanic in Mortal Kombat 1. They took a game mode that didn't seem very popular in previous game modes, because it's not MK9. I don't think MK9 was the first one that actually had like a tag team kind of mode in Mortal Kombat. But none of the Mortal Kombat games that had a tag team game mode, the tag team game mode was never the most popular game mode in those particular Mortal Kombat games. And then Mortal Kombat then took that relatively unpopular game mode and made it a main game mode in MK1. So I am curious about it. Now, in terms of combo variation and stuff like that, and being able to juggle and get crazy sick combos and stuff like that, it's definitely going to add to that. And I can see it making the gameplay very, very fun. It does seem like they also sped up the gameplay a little bit more from Mortal Kombat 11 as well. We'll see. We'll see. Not the biggest fan of tag game modes. I mean, the Dragon Ball FighterZ was pretty good. But I personally prefer just your one-on-one, similar to how Street Fighter is doing it. I do think Street Fighter probably is going to have the better fighting mechanics. I'm not going to lie. I think Street Fighter 6 is probably going to have the better fighting mechanics. I do like the aesthetic of Street Fighter 6, although I do think Mortal Kombat 1 is a far better looking game graphically and stuff like that. I do like the aesthetics of Street Fighter 6. Overall, I think Street Fighter 6 is going to be the better fighting game this year, which is crazy because this is like the first year in a very, very long time, if not ever, that we had both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat competing for like best fighting game of the year. But I think Street Fighter has it this year based on what I see. Now, I got to get my hands on Mortal Kombat 11 to see what the gameplay is actually hitting for. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of tag teams, but that doesn't mean that you can't have really good tag team fighting games. Case in point, Dragon Ball FighterZ being one of the better tag team fighting games. You also had stuff like Tekken Tag, which was very popular as well, too. It's just Mortal Kombat's tag team was never the most famous or popular. Honestly, I can't wait to see what they are going to do with the story and the multiplayer. It's being different from each other. Yeah. Every Mortal Kombat is basically different from each other, drastically different from each other, and this is just continuing in that. But I am interested. We'll see. Do you think this is actually going to be a better fighting game than Street Fighter? Do you think? In terms of story, I can assure you the story is going to be better than Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 story is trash. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that World Tour mode is garbage in Street Fighter, bro. I could definitely see like Mortal Kombat story mode being way better than Street Fighter. But the question is the gameplay going to be better? Honestly speaking, the graphics looks better, but the aesthetics in Street Fighter, I think, is better. Like, I like the artwork and the aesthetic in Street Fighter and how it looks and stuff like that. And it's just gonna come down to that gameplay. Like what the gameplay is hitting for. Like obviously the Street Fighter 6 gameplay is hitting. People are definitely liking the Street Fighter gameplay. I myself definitely like the Street Fighter gameplay. I don't know if too many people are gonna vibe with this tag team gameplay. We will see. If they implement it right, I could definitely see the gameplay giving the Street Fighter 6 gameplay a run for its money. It's definitely different enough to separate itself from Street Fighter as well too. So we will see. W opinion. What's good, Lewis? But with that being said, definitely like, share, subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff. Definitely check out in the description below. Check out the SoundCloud for Adrian Rockstar song if you think that song in the beginning is hitting. And like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.